Hey there, it's Marcus here and the amazing Eleni, and we wanted to drop in and have a chat about our amazing in-person live retreat that we've got coming up really, really soon called Transcendence. And I know there's been lots of questions and people have been wondering what's it all about. So I thought today, Eleni, we might go a little bit deeper on some of the aspects, or at least one of the aspects that we're going to cover in this beautiful retreat, which is going to run live again in room, not on a Zoom, but in the room. And we've got 3 days to help you to really step out of that 3D world and into the 5D world. And it's really about embodiment. It's not just about theory and about ideas, but it's actually about embodying it. And on day one, we're going to talk about alchemizing, which is really the unmasking of this 3D illusion so we can see it fully. Because I have this little saying, Eleni, that says you can't change something you can't see. So we've got to really be able to see it. But there was one concept in day one that we're going to cover that you talk about and I've pretty much written a book about. And when I first heard it, I went, oh my Lord, of course. Because I think, we've heard of the ego before, and we all know, if you're here in this space, and been following myself or Eleni, then you're probably well aware of the ego and you do whatever you can to sort of keep away from the ego and be as, spiritual and whatever as possible. But there was one concept that really caught my eye, and I'd love you to go deeper on it. And that concept was about this thing called the spiritual ego. So, Eleni, I'd love you to share, this
Yeah.
concept and tell us about it.
Yes, it's really interesting because I actually didn't know anything about it until I basically had the spiritual ego come forward in my life. And the way
Mm,
that happened was when I had a spiritual awakening, it was really funny, Marcus, because the moment I had this awakening about the dream that we live in and the illusion and understanding that we're this character in this dream, I thought that my ego was gone.
yeah.
And so I said to the facilitator at the time with the particular ceremony that I was having, "Oh God, I'm glad that's gone." And he was like, "Well, I hate to break this to you, but there are very few people on the planet without an ego." But I was absolutely convinced that my ego had gone, and this is part of the really the delusion of the spiritual ego in that it comes in another form, and
Mm,
so once the ego gets discovered and once the ego gets seen, it can't come back in the same robes again. It can't
right.
come back in the same clothes. It has to wear a different costume. And the costume that
Interesting.
it comes in is this spiritual costume where there's this belief that I now know something that you don't. And
Mm,
it's not like, oh, I thought I was so fantastic that I now have this new information. It's just that I really did believe that, it was my job to help people along with the journey and to let them know that this is the truth. And there's so many layers underneath the spiritual ego. It's harder
mm.
to actually see the spiritual ego because it is in this costume of being spiritual. And so
Yeah, it's
it
cool.
wants to it wants to look a certain way, it wants to sound a certain way, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing is that the consciousness inside this costume actually believes this is who I am now.
Mm. It's kind of interesting. When you first said it to me, I thought to myself, oh, I don't have that. No, 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 I don't have that. But yeah, we should deal with that for other people. And then as I'm thinking about it, even that statement proved to me that I that it was still hanging around, right? Just saying, oh, I don't have that ego. No, of course not. Why?
Exactly, just
Made me
saying it.
laugh. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Exactly. And, one of the things we're going to go deep, in the
Yeah.
retreat with this, but one of the things that the spiritual ego is very good at is, spiritual bypassing, where you're actually
Mm.
bypassing the human experience because it believes that it is an illusion. And so, why get caught in this
Yeah,
illusion
that's
when,
right. Why playing that?
that's right. And so
I'm bigger than
you
that
really
now, Lenny. Don't forget, I'm bigger than that.
That's right. That's right. And things happen in the world. It's like, yeah, but that's just part of, the playground and it's part of
Yeah, yeah.
the ride that we choose to go on. And so we're actually bypassing real emotions, real feelings, real pain
Mm.
because because now we have this belief that we don't need to experience that at that level because we're at a
Mm,
different level, and there's
yeah, right.
so many layers to this. And one of the things is that righteousness is the ego's favorite high vibration drug,
Mm, yeah,
because
yeah,
you know and even though you don't think that you are righteous, you know judging others is one example of this. So how many times have
mm,
you seen people make huge judgments
yeah,
on social media, and you're like,
yeah.
oh, don't they know they're judging? And we're actually judging them judging,
Judging,
right?
judging. So, so what's the importance of us sort of, facing this and uncovering, or whatever the word is, especially when we're looking at alchemizing and starting to unmask that 3D stuff so we can, step into the 5D version of us? Well, what's the importance
The
of
importance
this?
is that we've got to get real, and we have to actually face the shadows. We
Mm,
have to actually go in. There's no way around it. You've got to go in it.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
any concept of exaggerated detachment from what's really going on,
yeah,
like
yeah.
emotional numbing in terms
Mm,
of what's really going on, all
yeah,
of those
yeah.
things, overemphasizing light and love,
Mm, mm,
and not putting in boundaries because you're all light and love, and
yep,
accepting
yep.
standards from others that are not okay because you're all light and love. It's
Mm,
all about making sure that we do face our shadows, that we do go
mm,
deep, that we do dive in, because if you don't, you're not going
mm,
to be able to get through to the other side, to the truth, because
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
5D is. It's truth.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think, if you're sitting there thinking about this, going, "Oh, I've done a lot of ego work, and I think I'm, through that," and I think, that's one aspect to think about. But we're really, if you're going to step into 5D, if you're going to embody this, not just understand it from a conceptual point of view, not just get caught in the dancing to and fro, which I think a lot of us, all of us, have been caught in that a little bit. That battle between, I want to be that 5D version of me, but I've got to live in this 3D, and oh my God, I don't know. Right? For us to really do that, I think we have to look at this, like you said, and look at it at a deeper level and a different angle to maybe what we've considered in the past. And I think you're right. We're going to go deep and really start to shed these things and unpack, and whatever the words
Mm,
are, to allow us to, gently but powerfully, without any judgment, without any of those things, just reclaim what is hidden behind some of these little nooks and crannies and little spaces that, yeah, is going to be really helpful. So I think that's exciting.
Marcus, when you're talking, it's just like I really have goosebumps all over, because I'm almost
Yeah,
feeling the energy of the retreat now.
I am too.
And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, like I'm actually feeling it in my body, and it
yeah,
just feels like it's going to be such a sacred space for
yeah,
us all to get together. And the people that will come, they're
yeah,
supposed to be there. And so if this
absolutely.
is something that's pulling you,
Yeah,
get out of your head
if you're being called,
and just
yep.
connect to that feeling that this is right for you.
Absolutely, and step forward. And we'll put a link under this, above, under this video, so that you can find out more, but also reserve your place. We've only got limited number of seats, obviously, because it's not Zoom. It's in a room, and the room's only so big. So, we can only take so many people. So we'd love to have you join us if this, when you, check it out. Anyway, click the link to find out more and to reserve your place. Eleni, thank you so much. Looking forward to
Good.
the journey ahead, and we'll see you there. All right, ciao.
See